Alright, I'm going to go ahead and show you the proper way cleaning a torch tip. This end comes off right here. Angle my camera. Alright, so this end does come off. So what I like to do, pull it apart, make sure I don't have a lot of, gunk on the inside of these. It's a little black. One thing you don't want to do is use any kind of wire wheel or any kind of abrasive kind of cleaner to clean these. You want these to be as smooth and flowing as possible. So if you can wipe off anything that's under here, if there's any kind of chunks, that's about the best bet you got. Other than that, you got this really cool, cheap by all other aspects, toolkit. And it's got these little fingers in there. And all these are different sizes, so you can clean the different size holes on different tips. So what you do, you go in here, and it's got these little lines in there. It's kind of almost like a file, and you're just going inside the hole, and you're kind of making sure that there's no grip. And the piece that you want is the piece that will fit in there the tightest without having to force it. So it's just kind of there's no exact science. It's just making sure you're getting in there and cleaning these tips as thoroughly as possible. Some are going to be easy. Sometimes you get some welding slag that jumps up and will clog you up. And it's a little bit harder to get off on something like that, but we can make it happen. So we just sit here and we clean this baby out. We get every one of them, And if they're a little stiff, that means there's probably something blocking your way. Just make sure that they're nice and honed out. Another thing to consider when you're doing this is why these things get that way. You got plenty of time while you're sitting here. And why they get that way is improper cutting techniques with a torch, or just, lack there of care. But what it will eventually do is make your cuts crappy and make your work look not so great. And could potentially, being that it's a crappy cut, destroy a project you're working on. So this is a very important thing to do when you're dealing with torches. So I'm pretty sure I've gotten all of them. There's 6 holes and then a 7th in the center. Now on the back, he said, as long as those aren't real clogged up, there's, whether you can see it or not, there's some pretty large holes here. Now they have a tip for it, and it's this big one right here. Then you do the same thing. You come in through the back and just make sure that there's no obstructions in there. And the littlest amount of clogging will make a huge difference on your torch. So, like I said, this is something you want to make sure that you're doing quite frequently. Just making sure everything's nice and tight, nice and clean. And on that, I end up taking this, putting this back together, doing this on here. And you notice I took this off of my hand. This is compressed fitting. You don't really have to, if you start getting leaks, you'll hear it before you turn the torch on. But a lot of these are just done by hand because it doesn't take a lot of pressure to seal these. Other than that, that's the best way to clean your torch bit. And as you can see, a lot bit cleaner. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to properly turn on a torch. There are some things you need to consider. That's pressures, making sure your tips are clean, making sure that everything is open properly, meaning like on your valves here. you got to make sure that these are completely open. It's a double seat valve, meaning when it's closed and when it's open, it seals so gases can't get through the valve itself. Could cause a fire. You do just cracking it open, and then you have open ports on both sides. Could be a very dangerous situation. On that, kind of what I'll go through later and explain all the details that you may have missed. First things first, you have to make sure when you're doing your reading that it's while the fuel or the oxygen is actually flowing, not static. So, he's opening up the acetylene and the oxygen all the way. I'm going to go ahead and crack my acetylene open here. So when I come and look at my pressures and I adjust my regulator, while it's flowing. As I close this, you'll see the pressure changes. When I open it, you'll see it drop. That's the pressure I care about. So now that my fuel is set between 5 and 10, I'm going to come up here, my oxygen, I'm going to do the same thing. So watch as I crack this open, it'll drop down a little bit. That's my flowing rate, about 35. I am holding up the oxygen wide open. So on that, I'm set right about where I need to be. We close everything off. We know everything's set there. This is the striker. We don't use lighters to light a torch. So, I get my torch here. I turn my fuel on just a little. I just crack it open. Come from behind it. There's my flame. I just turned my oxygen on. Oh. Here's the actual setting. This is the on valve. And it's going to be really hard to see. Sorry, Mikey. There is a bunch of little teeny tiny hot flames that are down only about yay far into this flame.
They're typically referred to as fingers, aren't they, Tom?
Yep. And then when you put the oxygen, that blows away all your metal. Right there's about how you want it. And that's how you properly turn on a torch. Now we're going to show you to turn it off. Kill your oxygen, kill your fuel. Make sure everything's in the off position. Come up here, completely close all your valves. Then to alleviate any other problem, open your valves and let everything drain out.
It's done.
And it's done. So now, next person that comes up, when they go to crack this off, they don't have a bunch of gases and everything flying out of here. Okay? And when you close your valves, you don't have to Hercules them down. When it stops turning, it's done. It's off. Then you would take, for some kind of gas welding, you would use this right on here. And it would be the same procedure without the secondary oxygen control. It's all done down here. On that, the next video is going to be us showing you how to clean the tips.